My name is Gemma Rosenthal and this is Creative Hearts, and I just wanted to chat to you today about the topic of trusting the flow. This is because I've got a new single called Trust the Flow that's coming out, and I just thought I would use today to talk about how do we do that, how do we trust the flow, and what does it actually mean in this world where trust is a really difficult thing to do sometimes, and it can feel like, what can I trust in? Where do we put our faith? What do we do? I don't know what happened there, it just went off. But yeah, where do we put our faith? What can we trust in? And how do we get into this state of flow, which can sometimes feel so hard to do when there's so much going on? There's so many things that we can look at and feel like, that's not right, this isn't fair, how do we solve this? And it can feel really frustrating, and one of the easiest things to do is to just either ignore it or, turn to addictions or turn to things to distract the mind and to kind of not want to face things. So as some of you know, I have just been on a social media hiatus for the past month. I've not been online, and I've not really posted anything on this page or my other pages because I did want to take some time to rest, relax and receive and not have to think about output and what I'm putting out there. But then also I was kind of thinking, am I partly doing this because I'm afraid of what I might have to do as part of my purpose, or as a part of like making change in the world? And I know some of the kind of spiritual teachings say like, we don't have to change the world, you just have to change yourself. But I also think that part of changing yourself is giving back to the world, and then you see that reflecting back to you in the world. So I want to do my best to use my voice in the best way I can to help with that. One of the things that I've done recently is I've been writing for a book called Words of the Wise, and that will be out soon in autumn, and it's with lots of other female entrepreneurs, authors and coaches, so that's going to be a collaborative event. And that was one of the things where I just had to trust the flow with the process of the book writing as well, because I did have some writer's block when it came to doing the writing, and I was just chatting to my mum, and she helped me to get back into the flow and start to have some ideas. So I've actually featured some of her words in the book as well, so that's really exciting. So back to the single that's coming out. This was one that I just was doing on Logic. So on as a producer, you can use different programs to produce music and create, and one of the programs that I use is Logic. And so when I was on it, I think I was doing a different song, and I was getting really frustrated with the process, and this is something that crops up a lot with me, and I don't know why. It's just part of my life path or something that's happening. It gets really annoying, but I have a lot of problems with technology coming up sometimes, and I'm trying to work through it. And but anyways, I was doing a song and it wasn't really working, and then I just thought, scrap this, I'm just going to do a whole new song. And I just opened a new project, and then Trust the Flow came out, and it was just a whole different song. So I guess one of the messages of the song, the lyrics go, it doesn't have to be about where you're going, it doesn't have to be about what you're showing, it can be more than you've ever dreamed, it can be more than what it seems. Trust the flow. And I think the message is literally just saying that we don't always know what's best for us, and we don't always know the pathway forward, so we have to trust in where life is moving us, and sometimes that doesn't feel comfortable, but it's how we grow and it's how we expand and learn and do different things. So yeah, that's what the song's about. I guess one of the things recently which I've been wanting to do is just really help more, and thinking like, how can I help? And I'm looking at the situations of what's going on, and it just seems dire, and it just seems like, oh, what's going on in the world? But then again, you can look right in front of you, like right now, I can just feel the wind, feel the sun, and just like, I think I can hear children playing, because there's a school, my old school nearby, and it's just like, you know, all the things that we're fed, it's not always like, that's not reality. It's just constructs of what humans are going through. And although it is important because it affects us, there's also another reality that is here for us all the time. And it's just there, and it's just waiting. And I think that's one of the things that I want to encourage people to do, is to tap into that flow of, not just the flow of culture of what's going on, quote unquote, in the world, but actually what's going on in the world, beyond media, beyond what we're shown. Like right now I've got a cat, he's coming up to me. I don't know what the cat's gonna do, it's probably just gonna go over there, but yeah, it's just noticing, witnessing our relationship to the world around us, to animals, to nature, to our own self, and this is what is important. But then how do we kind of match that with, you know, our day-to-day lives and what we need as human beings? And this is a question that I do just sit with a lot and question. Yeah, like, how does being a human being the cat's just over there in the grass now. How do we face this human life and be a human being and deal with things? A lot of the problem normally is to do with money, relationships, and stuff like that comes up when we face problems, and none of these things take us out of the expansion of life and what we're actually experiencing. And but we can also use them to bring us back to life. We can use these concepts to communicate with each other, to have friendships and relationships that actually nourish us, that bring us back to life. And one of the ways to do that is to be present with people, and also to tell the truth. And I have to be honest, sometimes, even though I do see myself as quite a truth teller, I do find it hard to communicate sometimes what I'm really feeling, because I don't know, the mind's so complicated. Sometimes it just brings up all these ideas, and I want to do this, and I don't know if this matches with this, and how everything relates to each other. And I'm always wanting to make sure everyone's happy, and you know, you can't all the time. You have to just be honest and just accept when people don't like what you have to say. And I think that's a difficult thing to do. So back to trusting the flow, I do believe that your life, my life, we all have a destiny. And this is quite a big word, and I use it in the song. It's like, then you'll grow into your destiny. So that's part of it. And it's like, what does that mean? Destiny. And a lot of the time, sometimes it doesn't feel like we even have a destiny, because life just seems so mundane and ordinary and all these things. But actually, in those things, in the mundane, in the ordinary, you can find your destiny. As I think your destiny is always connecting with others and bringing what your gifts, your unique gifts, to share that with community, to connect with and awaken and see the truth of who you are and what you have to bring. And I think that's part of destiny, is about seeing the truth of who you are rather than what you think you are and what you think life is. You see past the illusion and you see the truth. And what is even the truth? That's such a big word, but I do think it's possible to grow into your destiny, like the lyric says. It's like, it doesn't have to all be at once. It doesn't have to just come straight away. And it can be, there can be different parts to your destiny. You know, part of my journey has been teaching, dancing, working with children, and then another part of it is making music, and another part of it has been coaching one-on-ones. So there's different parts to your destiny, and it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't even have to all be about career. Part of your destiny could just be being yourself, like in nature, like, and just absorbing just the love that's there for you, and then just appreciating it. That could be part of your destiny. And it doesn't have to be this grand thing, this grand gesture, or this grand, you know, I've made it moment. Could be, but it also doesn't have to be. It's more to do with, what are you here to offer? How can you help? How can you serve? Butterfly. I love these things when I come out in the garden. These moments. Yeah. So part of trusting the flow so that you can reach your destiny is seeing, the butterfly. Love that. I love that it's just made the video. That is so amazing. Thank you, butterfly. Yeah. The butterfly is such an amazing symbol, isn't it? Because it's like, it starts off like in a, what do they call, caterpillar thing, and it's all hidden and it's all small, and then it's on the ground and everything, and then it becomes a butterfly and it flies and it's free. And yeah, I just love that metaphor of a butterfly. And how can we do that in our own lives? How can we transform into something freer and more beautiful? And it doesn't have to be a judgment that the caterpillar is not free and beautiful, because really caterpillars are also free and beautiful. And it's recognizing that even in your caterpillar state, you're still beautiful. Yeah. So if you want to pre-save my new single, you can check it out. I'll put the links below, and please follow my music page, Gemma Rosenthal, and this page, which is Creative Hearts, and my Instagrams and stuff, creativehearts.coach and Gemma Rosenthal. And yeah, I hope that you like the song, and looking forward to the book coming out as well. And of course, if you would like a one-on-one coaching session with me, I always do the first one free. So you can just drop me a message and let me know if you want to have a Find Your Voice session, or just to have a coaching session and have a chat, basically. So yes, just drop a message, and make sure you check out the other videos, and have a nice day.